Captain's Log, July 29th, 2014. This is something that I've been thinking about talking about for a really good long time, and I'm somewhat surprising myself at the fact that I have never finally come on record and talked about this at all. I guess it's a thing that I kept secret for so long that I was just kind of used to keeping it a secret, and for a while I don't mind admitting that I was a little bit disappointed with what happened with it, and it didn't turn out, and it felt like a weird thing to talk about, and also there was like contractual stuff for a while that I'm sure have now evaporated, and I can talk about this. So anyway, enough time has passed. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. This was a thing that folks were asking me about for a long time, and I never finally jumped on and talked about it, and I'm going to do it now. So, in 2011, I got a phone call from Hollywood. Wow, Hollywood calls me on the phone! And there was a casting agent, and she wanted to know if I was interested in trying out for a brand new reality show. And I had gotten an email a few days before from this casting agent, and she had mentioned it, and then out of the blue, I get a phone call from her, and so I was like, yes, I would be interested. What is it? And she said, well, it's this competitive reality series that's going to be, I think at the time they didn't even have a network yet. I was one of the very first people, as far as I know, in the casting consideration for this show. And the show was King of the Nerds, which is going to go into its third season this coming year. This was back before it started. This was back before anybody knew anything about it. It's somewhat surreal now, by the way, Googling it, because I remember back then Googling it and finding almost no information whatsoever on it. And now, of course, it's aired, and there's pictures and all kinds of things all over the place because it's had 2 seasons. And so, anyway, apparently this casting agent was looking around for Star Trek fans because she needed different kinds of geeks, well, nerds. That's kind of one of the ironic things about this, by the way, is that I have a show called Geeks Not Nerds, and they called me anyway. And she was looking around for someone who was really hip deep in knowledge of Star Trek. And she called me up and was impressed with things that I guess she saw on the YouTube channel. And so she asked me to make a home tape, and in order to try out for the show, you had to make a like 10 to 15 minute tape of yourself and talking about your nerdiness and what you do and your life and all that kind of stuff. And so I made a tape. Vince helped me out with it. And I also, by the way, after I sent them my tape, they asked me if I knew anybody else that might be interested in auditioning. And Vince made a tape too, and they considered him for a minute. But I continued through all of the rounds of casting, and I had to jump through a whole lot of hoops. There's a number of different things you have to do to be on a reality show. A lot of forms you have to fill out, huge contract you have to fill out, all kinds of things. And anyway, so like there's physicals. You know, every reality show kind of handles it the same way. So I'm sure I'm not mentioning anything that I was supposed to you know, not talk about. But anyway, so yeah, that's the thing that everybody does. And ultimately, I made it to the final round of casting, and they flew me out to Hollywood, California in the summer of 2012, a month before The Dark Knight Rises came out. And I think, yeah, right around there. Actually, no, it was like a week or two before Rises came out. I remember this because I thought I was going to miss Rises opening weekend. And I got flown out. And I was in Hollywood for 48 hours inside a hotel, couldn't leave, couldn't go anywhere. Everything was super hush-hush. You had to stay in your hotel room. You could only come out when they had certain things they needed you to do. And it was a really interesting experience. I did a lot of stuff thinking I was going to be on the show. They had me go through interviews. They had me do all the press stuff. They had me take photos. They had me pose for a lot of stuff. That was a lot of fun. I really kind of for a minute there got the whole Hollywood experience, and I loved it. I reveled in it. I was really surprised by how much it agreed with me. And you know, I was nervous. I really thought I was going to go there, and there were going to be there was going to be like all the Hollywood personalities that people tell you about, and there was going to be all you know you know, a whole lot of ego and stuff, and it was going to be difficult to deal with. And, you know, it wasn't. Everybody I talked to was really nice, really considerate, really interesting to work with, and everybody was just, I mean, really fun to work with, and everybody was just kind of doing their jobs. Certainly it's the kind of environment where you can tell that everybody's trying to use a thing as a stepping stone to get to another thing. So, you know, the Hollywood mentality, yeah, it's there, and I don't know what this says about me, but I feel like if I ever got on a show, if I was ever part of the Hollywood thing, you know, if I ever tried to make that a career and try to become an actor or whatever inside of Hollywood, I feel like I could handle all of that. I was really surprised by how comfortable I was with all of it. I got along really well with the producers. Everybody seemed to really like me pretty well, and the interviews and things were really fun. I loved the experience. It was great. And then the producers came to my room the night after, that evening, after all of the different things that they had me do, and told me that unfortunately I had not made the show. They flew out a certain number, and they were going to choose from those. Ultimately, 11 people made the show, and I was in the top 14. So 3 people didn't make it, and I was one of them. And the reason they gave me was that they couldn't use Star Trek stuff on the show because they couldn't get the rights to use it that season. Now, I have not watched season 2. I've been told that that embargo was lifted, or if they don't have Star Trek iconography, at least they had some Star Trek talk in that season. Again, I've not looked at it, I don't know, but this is what somebody watched it and told me this, that there was a girl that was a big Star Trek fan that was on there for Star Trek for season 2, and it's, I don't know, I hate that I didn't get called back. It's kind of a shame. I'm not bitter. I'm not upset with them. I understand. You need different things for your show. It's nothing personal. And like I said, it seemed like I didn't mess up. It seemed like there wasn't anything personality or wise or anything that was the reason I wasn't on. It was just that season they couldn't use me. And I kind of got the sense that maybe they found somebody that they just liked better for the second season. Maybe maybe the person that they got knew Trek better than I did. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't kept up with it. But anyway, it was kind of a blow because I loved being there, and I was just like, to get called up out of the blue by Hollywood, and to be asked to audition instead of like going out for something and hoping against hope that you'd get on, that they actually called me up. It was really, really neat, and I'm glad I did it. It was a free plane trip to Hollywood. It was pretty cool. Those of you that have been with me a long time, watching the channel, will remember that summer I shut the whole channel down for a month, and that was the reason. And like I said, I was only there for 2 days, but since I had told everybody I was going to shut down, I went ahead and just took some time off and did some other things that month. It ultimately, was okay. I mean, like, just after that, the channel started picking up a lot more. We got with Machinima just after that. Things with the channel and things have been really great, and I could not be happier with where things have gone. So this is not a, oh man, I had this chance for 15 minutes of fame thing, blew that, that really sucks. No, it's not so much about that. It's kind of just more, I wanted the experience of, I wanted to experience being on a TV show. And I hope maybe someday something else comes along. I don't know what in the world it would be, but I was this close. And it's sort of a bucket list thing, I mean, like I'm about to make, I'm working in the middle of making a documentary, and I'm mostly doing it just because I've always wanted to make a documentary, and cross that off my bucket list. And there's a part of me that's just always wanted to be on network television, just one time. I don't have to be on a show. I don't have to have my own show. I don't need to be an actor. I'm really very comfortable with what I'm doing on YouTube and the success we've had so far. And as I always like to say, thank you folks so much for making that happen. But I just really thought I had it. I really thought I was there, and I was right. I was in the door. I was right there. I want to go back to Hollywood so bad. I really liked it there. It was really interesting. I want to say I was in Pasadena. I think is where the hotel was that I was at. I forget now. I need to look that up actually, but I think that's where I was. I had this gorgeous view of the mountains behind me there at the hotel, and yeah, really interesting, neat experience. So anyway, I just wanted to finally share that on the channel. It's something that people have asked me about a lot, and that for the longest time I just wasn't sure I should talk about publicly yet. And anyway, it's been a couple of years. I think everything with that is, you know, copacetic now. But anyway, so thanks for watching. Sure appreciate it. I hope that story was interesting for you. You know something I didn't mention. I got to meet some cool people while I was there. The lady that did, and I don't know if she's still on the show, but the lady that did the I want to say the hair and makeup on that show, or was it wardrobe? I think it was hair and makeup. I'm forgetting now. No, it was wardrobe. She was the lady who worked for the longest time on Price is Right, and so she and I got to talk Price is Right a bit, and that's one of my favorite game shows, so that was really cool. And I also worked with a guy who was on the set and worked some on Dark Knight Rises, which was pretty neat too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Sure appreciate it. I'm Captain Logan, and this is the end of today's Captain's Log.